Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys, and today we're going to actually talk about where Infiniti is going as a car company. But before I get into the video, guys, if you're watching me for the first time, watch a few of my other videos. If you like those videos, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification, but also you can follow me at Boost in Motion on Instagram and Facebook. And also for any business inquiries, email me at boostinmotion@gmail.com. But otherwise than that, guys, let's get into the video. Shout out to Mr.Dope_Steezy. Alright. Yo, so how do you feel about Infiniti Nissan and where they're going? I feel though they need to let go of the same old VPs that have been in office for over decades of time. They need a refresh. The VPs they have in office are old and probably set in their ways, not keeping up with what's new. They're still holding on to the dinosaur technology they've implemented years ago. Yes, a lot of this tech they came up with was implemented before the competition, but the competition has integrated that tech and perfected it, like the BMW instance 360 camera. Yes, Infiniti was the first to have the 360 camera view and first to implement the camera's systems, period, but BMW has implemented 3D 360 camera. I'm like you, we're both alike when it comes to things we hate about our Q50, like the rear doors not having puddle lights like BMW and the folding mirrors and etc. So let me give you my response. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for asking me that question. So here's my response, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. And some of you guys may be business owners, right? And you understand that you may have to make partnerships with certain companies. And with Nissan and Infiniti, that's what they did. That's why we have this old infotainment that's still here. But guess what? That is over. That is gone. Bye-bye. Now we're going to have Apple CarPlay for 2021. This is going to be great. So they're going to start implementing some of these technologies. But let me just use a quick comparison real quick. For the Q50 itself, our direct competitor will be the 340. This is for the Red Sport, will be like the 340, right? And for the Q60 itself, it will be the 440, right? Now, if you compare the technology into it, BMW surpasses us so far. Like, yes, I know they have a more expensive lease rate, and we are more affordable, but you still get more of a car. Like one of my friends, he loves my car. He has a 440i. He loves my car. But I said, dude, like your car has better technology for the daily driver. And it's a BMW, so you still get more of the styling cues and everything, the lineage that go behind that. My car is just good to look at. I still think it's a very potent, quick car. But some people just want to be able to get in something that's just like their cell phone, pretty much. So that's what Nissan and Infiniti is finally catching up, and with these contracts finally coming to an end, we're going to be able to have better integration with our cars. Now, when it comes to the styling cues, I still believe Infiniti is doing a great job at making cars that are good-looking cars. Yes, the Q70 itself is getting a little bit outdated because the chassis been out forever. Even the Q60 itself been out since 2014. It's about to be 2020. So they're going to have a refresh at some period. So some of you guys are going to ask me, when is Infiniti going to jump out the window and give us something insane and new? And that's why a lot of you guys love the Q60 Black S. Just because the look of it, the aggression of it. A lot of y'all, including myself, I don't think they're going to make it like the way it is. Of course, this is a prototype. But some of the technology in it has been in the hybrid versions of the Infiniti models that has already been out. What I believe is Infiniti is going to make like a 2.0 of what they already had in their Q50 hybrid. Pretty much maybe a better electric motor, better systems to store energy and to charge energy a lot quicker, which means we'll have more fast, aggressive launches. Better ways of making the hybrid system better for us, and also be even more fuel efficient. But also, I believe they're gonna jump out. They need to jump out the window because they're competitors. Like I said a little earlier, when you look at a 340i, it has a B58 motor. That motor is dope. It's also in the new Supra. If you look at the transmission, ZF's 8-speed transmission, that transmission is also in other cars outside of BMW. So these other companies said, yo, that ZF transmission is great. We want that. And they just made the partnership to make it happen. Yes, it costs money, but at the end of the day, if you're giving the buyers what they enjoy to drive, because I've driven cars with the ZF transmission, I think it's great. I think that motor, that B58 is great. And with just the infotainment that is in just newer cars completely. It's just better integration. I get in Honda Accords and Honda Civics, and I just enjoy knowing that I actually touched the infotainment. Knowing that that's the one selling point that keeps me just sad about my Infiniti lets me know that, wow, that's literally something that we all want and need. Now, for them to refresh a lot of these models, they had to test mule a lot of things. So they test mule the VR30, which has pretty much been out since the GTR in their engineering phase, but I still believe the engineer missed this one point. Let's give it diverter valves, pretty much blow valves. You have a turbo car. Why don't you have diverter valves? Like, this should be something. The GTR has it. Why don't you have it? You still make the same amount of PSI. Like, it's, even though it's a small turbo, nonetheless, you still need it on an engineer. Some of you guys are engineers. You know what I'm saying? You can't skip this stuff. So that also made me a little fearful of where they may be going. Maybe there'll be a version 2.2, version 2.0 when they come out for the VR30, maybe for, you know, a new Z car. You know, if they're going to come out with a Z car, they're going to make the Z car great. But you know what, though? Infiniti and Nissan like doing things where they still know they can punch up, like they could punch above the glass ceiling, but I believe they always continue to hold back. Yes, the GTR itself has been out for so long. When it first came out, it was destroying the game. Now it's like, it's still destroying the game, but everyone else caught up. So in the market for us guys that get Q50s and Q60s and even want to get some of the CUVs and sport utilities, whatever the case might be, they need to do better and jump out the window. So if you're going to develop the VR30 and give us a red sport version, make that red sport version something that could compete. That's why some of you guys like the black Q60S, because it could compete with an M4. You guys want to be able to get that, but they keep keeping us down here. Like, you want to get up here. People are willing to spend the money. If you look at Dodge, people want horsepower. They like the fact that a company, you can buy a 1320 Challenger and take it to the track. They're saying, hey, buy our car, go to the track, go and race, have fun, be careful. That is great, and that's why some people go to these auto manufacturers. You have an M3, M4. You take it to the track and you drive around it. You have an RS5. You drive around the track with carbon ceramic brakes. These companies are giving the sport enthusiasts what they want and need. Infiniti is holding back saying, you know, we're just going to give you regular, nice daily drivers. No, stop that, Infiniti. We want more. We're willing to pay the extra money to still stick with a brand, but get more benefits and stuff that we enjoy and that compared to other vehicles. A lot of us will love to be next to racing the M4 in our Infiniti Q60 Black S. Or even if they make a Black S version for the Q50. Let's be honest, you guys will love that. I will love that too. But nonetheless, when I look at the whole brand itself, I believe everything has already dated itself out. The Q50 has dated itself out. The Q6 has dated itself out. They implemented the smaller little crossovers. Yes, they're new with their new variable compression ratio motor. So that's the test mule. I think they're going to use that motor as like a baseline for some of their vehicles across the brand, just as, you know, pretty much the base motor. There's going to be the most vertical version of every model. And once they got that technology down, then they're going to probably try to implement the VR30 into more expensive trims in those models. So even in my own case, if they do really good with the VR30, that new Z is going to be insane. I don't think they're going to give it a 400 brake horsepower. They're going to probably revise the turbos, make the car like 450 horsepower. They may just keep the 7-speed auto. I hope they don't. But if they do keep it, make the clutch packs take a lot more torque, and make the TCM, pretty much the transmission control module, a lot better so that you have better shifts. They can develop the transmission and beef the transmission up to be better. It's not that hard. They already have the technology to do so. We don't need to do clutch, guys. We don't need it. So nonetheless, same thing for the Q70. They're going to have to refresh the whole interior. They may keep the same chassis, but the whole interior needs a refresh. The exterior, they're going to have to refresh that too. They're going to have to get rid of the 5.6, stop with the 3.5 or 3.7, whatever. Get rid of it and put the VR30 in there. Of course, give it a red sport version, but you can't make it 400 horsepower because guess what? When you had a 5.6, which was 420 horsepower, so now you're gonna give it a red sport motor? No, people are gonna need a little bit more power. Make it 450, close to 500. Make the person want to buy that car. and then give it a watered down 3.0T, or even the variable one, the variable compression ratio motor that you have in the QX or QX30. Put that in the Q70 itself, the base version, because Audi does it. Audi has a 2.0T in their A6. The A6 is a 4,400 pound car. They have a 2.0T in there. Come on, if Audi could do it and people are buying it, why can't we? You know, follow Infiniti. I hate to tell you guys, you used to be the innovators, but follow what works for now. Follow it. A lot of us will choose to purchase your cars and purchase your trucks. Your lease rates are freaking great. I believe a lot of the Infiniti customer service, at least I dealt with, was pretty fine. And I believe, and I take Infiniti as like just a good go-to brand. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Nissan is the sports version, or Nissan Infiniti is the sport version of like the Japanese market. You know, when you look at Lexus itself and Toyota, you don't really look at them like, you don't look at them and say performance. Yes, they still have the F Sport, and now they have, you know, the GSF F Sport, and they have, when they want to sell you, they'll sell you like an RCF. Those are dope cars, and that's them trying to still be sporty, but you know, at the end of the day, like, nothing screams go to Lexus. I love Lexuses, but I mean, when you look at Hondas now, yes, you look at Hondas, most of their cars now have smaller 4-cylinder turbos. That's dope for the economy car, and they'll have better technology than us, but people buy it because of the lineage, the idea. They're like, yo, this car is reliable. And Acura, well, pretty much the same thing. Now they're starting to make their cars very potent. They're coming out with their new the TL all-wheel drive, which is going to have a twin-turbo V6. Come on, that is a direct competitor to the Q50. And I honestly think it's a gorgeous-looking car, guys. So go Google that car. That car is freaking gorgeous. But it's a prototype. But nonetheless, guys, these brands, we don't run to them because of performance. We run to them for like their own additives. But we know we go to Nissan Infiniti because of performance, its own idea and look, and they're usually the most innovative in the Japanese market. Infiniti, get back to your roots, get back to your roots, get back to your roots. We want a Q50, Q60 Black S. We want more high performance oriented cars. Yes, Red Sport is cool, but it's a 340 competitor. It's not an M3 competitor. You can build an M3 competitor. And it doesn't need to be hybrid if you don't want it to be. So otherwise than that, guys, tell me what you think. Comment below. Sorry for making this video so long. Add me at boostinmotion on IG, please. If you have Instagram, add me at boostinmotion on IG. This is when I get to talk and curse a little bit and have fun with you guys. Also, you can contact me at boostinmotion on Facebook. And if any business inquiries and other questions, you can email me at boostinmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you, guys. You have a good day.